So this week we'll be wrapping up with the databases. We will be reviewing some of the stuff that we did last week. As with SQL, we'll do views, which we did not do last week. Views are equivalent to logical files. So we will see how databases do logical files equivalents. And then we will look at SDA, which is Screen Design Aid. You will have one assignment, one quiz under this unit, today's unit, and then you will also have 3-part final exam. And the 3-part final exam, half of it's hands-on, the other half is multiple choice, true, false. The hands-on part is divided into 2 parts. One of them is logical files, physical files, and the other one is the database part. So pretty much what we covered last week and the assignments that you were assigned last week, if you can do those assignments, you can pretty much do the hands-on. So the join piece, well, of course, you would have to create the physical files also and populate them with the data, which you did like in the assignment prior to the last one, but it was a continuation of the same assignment that you did for 2-3 weeks. I should say 3 weeks rather. So, so that's exactly what the hands-on part is. All the items are due by next week, Friday, midnight. So you can work on these items at your own pace. Hands-on part is very much similar to your assignments, that you do the hands-on part, you take the screenshots, you upload the screenshots, and the multiple choice true false is pretty much like a quiz. You open it, you don't have to do all the questions the same in one sitting. And you know, you just turn it in and you hit submit when you're done with all the questions. So time yourself, because this is not the only class you're taking. You're taking many classes, and whichever classes finals are due first, do those. And I don't know, for all my classes, I've been giving take homes and giving the entire week. I don't know about other classes. Do you guys have to go in person to take final too? Or have to be like the final will only be available during the 4 hours of class time? Do you have any of those classes like that?
All of mine can be, or my IT business just unlocked Friday, programming, and my programming opened up on Tuesday. And then as long as this one's not during class hours, then yeah.
Yeah. all of mine are like that too. I've opened them up for a week. So all my Thursday classes, their final exam were open yesterday, and they will be due by next week, Thursday, midnight. And for this class also, the final exam is already opened, and it will be due by next week, Friday, midnight.
Cool. Now your homework says it's due tomorrow.
Even
The 3rd.
Go ahead, refresh it. Does it still says that?
It might. I got it done already, but I just wanted to.
The assignment number.
Okay, you got it. December 10th. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I fixed that.
Good man.
Yeah.
Maybe rush through it to get it done.
Yeah, no, I fixed that almost like half hour ago. I didn't realize that it was still set to 3rd.
Oh, I just needed a refresh, so I'm good.
Okay, cool. So that's basically what we'll be working on. Okay, so unit number 11, and you have an assignment number 11, which is creating, you create the following 2 tables, and then you enter data in them. So that's why, as a refresher, we will do another example today of creating tables and establishing foreign key, primary key relationships between them. And you have a quiz on databases, which is 200 points. So that's 300 points here. And then if you go back to the units and scroll down all the way to the bottom, there's a final exam link. And it's a 3-part final, and that's another 600 points. So your 900 points are there in these 7 days, right?
Wow.
So your hands-on for the logical files and physical files is that I've given you the specifications. You create a physical file, you put data in it. Then you create another physical file and you put data in it. And then you create a logical file that joins the fields from both physical files, very similar to the assignment that's due today about joins. And then the second part is I removed the complexity of primary key and foreign key and made it a little bit simpler than what I was originally planning on doing. So this is just a simple table to be created. And you basically create a table with these fields. And you provide me the screenshot of the data. And the data, I'm letting you enter through QBE, query by example. You don't have to write insert statements for the data. I only need the create statement for SQL. And you will insert the data in RDI, which is right-clicking on the table and go to data and then click edit. And then, you tab over to enter the data. How you used to enter the data for physical files in RDI, exactly the same way you enter data in tables in RDI. So those are the 3 parts for the final exam.
Now, real quick, for the Unit 11 assignment, it says on there, please turn in the SQL statement of table definition and insert commands for inserting table or data into the tables.
Right.
You just want screenshots of the completed setup?
No, this is only the SQL statements. So you will give me the SQL statement for the create table commands, and you'll give me the SQL statements for the insert commands that you ran. So you will give me 2 creates, and you will give me 7 insert statements, because you will be inserting 3 records in the first table and 4 in the second one. So you'll have total of 7 inserts and 2 create statements.
Oh, okay. I just did a complete screenshot of everything when it was done.
So,
I could go back and get it.
But does that include your SQL statements or no?
Oh yeah, it's got the select,
Okay.
or the create, the select, and the inserts.
Okay, as long as you have them there, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay.
I will dump that in there. Hold on.
How much percentage of her grade is this final exam worth?
So again,
How much percentage of her final grades is this exam worth?
the total 600 points you're talking about?
Oh, 600 points. Whew.
The final
true.
exam, all 3 parts are 600 points.
Dang. All right.
So that is, the total grade, the total number of points in this class are 3,200. Out of 3,200, 900 points are in this week. So if you have been doing great, you need to continue to do great.
Oh, I've been doing all right, I think. I think I'll survive.
So this is the breakdown of the points. So out of 3,200 points, 600 points is final. And then you have 200 points of quizzes and 100 points of assignment this week. Okay. So to do a simple math, 28% of your overall grade is dependent on this week.
I think I'll be all right.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? How much of a percent?
28.
Okay.
I have had some sneaky students in the past who are like, oh, I'm an A, So even if I don't do the final, I'll still be a C and they would not do final.
What?
Yes.
No, that's not the direction I was headed.
So
I was just trying to see if I happen to not do extremely well on it, how much points can I lose and still be okay? That's what I was thinking. Just in case I don't do well.
I
That was
mean,
where my head was.
I still have students like that who come to me and said, what if I don't do the final? Can I still pass this course? I mean, like, why would you not want to do the final? Why don't you want to graduate with a better grade?
Yeah, worst
Especially-
case scenario, if you didn't want to do it, you could just just click random answers and then just like half try. You could easily get like a 30-40%, and that's still going to increase your grade because you're getting points for that 30-40%.
Exactly. Rather than just doing nothing and get a 0. Sometimes, I just don't get these people.
Couldn't be me. I want to do all my work. I want to do everything, but I just in case I don't do well, I was thinking that's where my mind was. I'm with you. I'm gonna take that 34%, bro.
You know what? I will soon ditch Chrome. This is what it does. When I click on it, that's all. It just keeps doing that. But if I open a different browser, let's say if I open Microsoft
Firefox.
Edge, even Edge, everything fires up. It's there, and it only does, and it just does it all the time like that. So see how quickly the pages are loading here. Now this is authentication, and now I click on V2 Cloud, and notice it is already authenticating me. And look at the Chrome; it's still thinking. I don't know what's wrong with it. I even
Probably
just,
be good, but they went downhill real quick. I actually moved back to Firefox, so I can't stand Chrome anymore.
and somebody told me that check your memory. And I was like, wow, it's a memory hog. Chrome just takes up so much of your RAM.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
What does it do?
32 gigs, and it used to take up a good half of that almost.
But I wonder what do they do with your processing power? Are they running Bitcoins?
Be honest.
Just farming all your data.
Perhaps.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've noticed that my computer fan is going crazy. And this is a gaming computer. And I'm running nothing but Chrome.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I actually have the same problem. I mean, any suggestions on the different browser? Because
That's what I'm seriously thinking now, that I'm only using Chrome because everything I set up on all my links and everything are in Chrome. But most probably in spring, I will not use Chrome. Probably may use it for little things, but for the main part, I will switch to Firefox. I'm seriously thinking of doing that. Anyway, other people have not had any problems with Chrome, but for me, I constantly get this problem that I click on a link and I have to sit 10 minutes. So anyway, so over here, if all of you could please log into the V2 Cloud, and if you're already there, give me a, don't give me green check until you open ACS.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Cool.
I'll do my final.
I know that last week we worked with SQL utility, but did we also do run SQL script utility last week to write SQL statements?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, because I noticed majority of the people who have submitted the assignment from last week, they use green screen.
Ugh.
I'm like, maybe I did not cover it because I'm running 2 sections of this course. So I thought I might not have covered run SQL script with you guys. And I only did it with some of them. I'm like with the other section, but okay. So, but today we will be using run SQL script. So that's why I've asked everybody to be in ACS. And that's where the run SQL script is. When you click on it, it just brings this where you can sign in. Okay, so I am waiting for Chris, Jacob, and Aiden. Okay, Chris got it. Okay, so just waiting for Aiden and Jacob. Okay, Aiden is also in. Oh, Desmond also. Desmond, you're in, or your green check disappeared? Oh, you're in. Okay, cool. So,
It disappeared. I already put it.
and Jacob, is it slow, Jacob, for you?
Hey, look, your Chrome finally got going.
Say again?
Your Chrome finally got going.
Oh yeah, it did, but after such a long wait.
Yeah, it did.
But I will be using the edge. It's living by the edge.
Is that one of your corny lines?
Ah, reminding me of that, you know? Here you go. Why did you reminded me? Do you know why the IRS is after our money? They want our money
Why? Let me hear this.
because the IRS, if you put it together, it is theirs.
That's funny.
Oh my god. The IRS.
Wrong.
How long did it take you to make that one?
Somebody must have showed him that. I don't
Come
think
up with a lot of your
that's weird.
jokes, or have you like heard them online?
I don't know. You probably might have.
He's playing it smooth now. First, he didn't tell us that he was actually in the book that we're studying. That's the first thing he didn't do because he didn't want us to know that he's a celebrity. And now he comes up with these dad jokes. You know,
Better than dead jokes.
better than
Do you have
that.
a list of like these jokes, or are they just all off top?
Some of them, most of them are off top. So it's, you probably may or may not hear them again.
Oh, it's just in the air, it's gone, bro. It just sizzles out.
So we were talking about games, right? So how about if we create a small table to store game genres, and then we will create another small table called game, and we will link the two tables with primary key and foreign key, and then we will put some data in it, and then we will update the data in it, and then we will write some views on them. So that basically will be our starting point for our activity. So to create a table, we use a create command. The syntax of the create command goes like this, that you type the create followed by what are you creating? Since I'm creating table, I will type create table. When we get to views, you will still use the create command, but you will use create view. So create table. The name of the table is the genre. And here I have two fields. One of them is ID, character size 4. It's a primary key because it will uniquely identify every record and you cannot repeat it. And the genre name, which could be a variable character of size 30. So because maximum 30 characters, but you could put any length and it will only occupy as much space, any length less than or equals to 30, it will only occupy as much space as the data that you're entering. And you can very well write the entire statement on one line. You can break it up into multiple lines. It's all up to you, however you want to tackle that. So once you write this, how will you run this? You can select it and you can click on the third hourglass symbol that says run selected. And it will run it for you and will give you the message that the following statement ran successfully, table created. Simple as that. So every table needs to have a name, a set of parentheses in which you will list all the fields. Each field needs to have a name, a data type, and possibly a size if required. And if it's a primary key, you will mention that it's a primary key. Otherwise, you will not mention that it's a primary key. So when you are done with that line, you run your command and you should get the statement that I see at the bottom. Statement ran successfully. Warnings is okay. Everybody got this?
Yeah, my warning is a different number from yours, though.
No, that is the number of milliseconds it took to run this query.
Oh, I'm way ahead
Okay.
of you. Your computer is slow.
So that's why, what is your number?
110.
110 milliseconds. Yeah, so yours ran much faster. So it totally depends on you submitted to the server and how busy the server was when it was taking and running the query.
It's my computer. Yours is slow.
Yes. Okay. Even though it's running on the server.
What if you accidentally said Henry instead of genre? How do you fix that?
Well, this is how you can do it. Drop table Henry. Run that command. It will drop that table. And then you can rerun after fixing the name.
Rest in peace, Henry.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
You guys are as corny as your teacher. Look, he's thinking right now. He's thinking, what joke can I do to
So
join
is
this country?
the other table I told you was game, right? Okay, so is everybody done with this one?
Yes.
Okay. So create table game ID character 4. Now that is the ID for the game, right? So maybe to differentiate between the game ID from the genre ID, I'll just call this one game ID. Primary key game name variable character and all of these spacing and everything is only for readability purpose. Okay. And then I have ID character 4, and that will be my foreign key. So when you establish primary key and foreign key relationship between the two tables, you take a slightly different syntax that you would do for just creating a primary key. Constraint is what is the keyword you will use, constraint. Followed by, you will come up with the name of the constraint. It will be a user defined. For example, since my context is that I'm creating an ID for the genre, I could just call it FK underscore ID underscore genre. I could have a longer name just for it to be more identifiable. So constraint name. What kind of constraint am I creating? I'm creating a foreign key constraint. What field will be promoted to the foreign key status? The ID field. Okay, then where is the primary key located? References the genre table, which is where the primary key is located, and the primary key is ID field. So the syntax is a bit longer syntax, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. Anything in blue color is a keyword other than ID. ID over here is a field name, but it also has keyword in SQL. So when I run it, okay, that establishes the primary key foreign key relationship between the two tables. Okay. We'll wait till we get an okay from everybody. So is it Ethan, Samuel, Jared, and Chris?
Sorry, I had to get Kleenex. How do we create this new table, the game table? Because I tried highlighting it and running it, and it just errored out saying keyword create not expected.
Okay, look at the line number 1. Does it ends in semicolon?
Nope, that would be
Okay,
it.
and did you run line number 1 yet?
Yeah, I created the table, but then I was trying to drop it, and then it was saying
Oh,
drop doesn't work, and I don't know.
okay,
Because
so
I didn't.
yeah,
Go ahead.
so you created Henry first, right?
Well, I created genre ID and then primary key and then Henry underscore name. And then I was trying to fix that and it didn't
Okay,
work.
so basically what you should have done is you should have typed drop table genre with a semicolon. You must be missing semicolon to start with. So run that,
Okay.
then run line number 3 with the fix, and then run line number 5 and 6. Wow, that rhymes. Runs line number 3 with the fix, then run lines 5 and 6. I'm also a poet now.
And you didn't even know it.
And Chris is like, what's wrong with you guys? This is called week 13 effect, Chris.
Yeah.
Token game name is not a val.
Mine's failed for some reason, and I have everything that you have here.
And again,
I'm good now.
Okay, cool. And what error does it give you, Desmond?
Oh, I see what.
Okay.
It's 99% of the time it's a spelling error.
No, it's I didn't create the second line for some reason.
Oh, you did not do anything on the second line, period?
No, the number 3, that line number 3 that you have there.
Oh, I did this only for I did that for Jared. So this is what we have.
Okay, well, I don't know why mine's is not running. I have everything correct. I just showed
Okay.
you.
Can you share your screen? Let's have a look at it.
Promise.
Okay. So, oh, it is saying the game already exists. You already created it. See, look at the error message. What does it read? Game in ITPA 585 already exists. So you already created it.
Okay.
Okay. Did you created it incorrectly that you wanted to recreate it?
No, is this joining onto our green screen? Because I remember I made a file in green screen. Name game.
Okay, so maybe you can change this to games. Try adding an S.
From all the way from the first, or just from right here?
Yeah, right from there. Yeah, just add the S to the game. Yeah, and then select the 2 lines and run it.
Okay. And we do the third one, right?
Go ahead, run it. Don't worry too much about future.
Okay.
Okay.
That worked. Yeah, that worked.
Cool. So in this activity, whenever I say game, when in any of my queries, you will use the word games. Okay. I know you'll probably after every query you're like, it's giving me an error. Check your name.
You know, he's just so you guys know, he's poking at me, right? Because for some reason, whenever he gives me specific instructions, I add a little extra to it. I don't know why, but there's always one extra something, and it causes problems because I'm not following his steps.
I was curious why you indented line 4 again.
Oh, just to align it with other fields. It's just for readability purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay, now let's start inserting data, starting from the genre. Insert into genre values. So insert into and values are keywords. Genre is the name of the table. And now I start parentheses. I have 2 fields, so I'll have 2 values. The first value is the ID of the genre. The second one is the value. And I don't have to run each one of them individually. I could just copy and paste and paste. I will run all three of them at once. And I can select all three of them and then click on the run selected symbol, and it'll run all three of them and will tell me the 3 statements ran. So this is how you can also insert and run it all at once.
So since I have games up there, am I putting games for each one of these instead of fighting game?
Say it again.
Since I have game up top.
No, no, no.
game-
This is just a value that is going in the genre name field.
Okay,
Okay, so 1 is the value for ID. See, I'm putting these values in genre. I'm not putting these in game.
okay,
I first created both of my tables. Now I am populating them with values. So the table that has the primary key must be populated first, because the foreign key will stop you from entering values if primary key is empty.
got you.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
why the primary key table is filled first.
Okay, thank you.
So now we will start inserting values in the game table. Insert into game values. So if you look at it, the syntax is very similar. Open parentheses. In game, I have 3 fields. One of them is ID, which is character. So I'll start with ID 1001, a game name, and then a genre ID. Now, genre ID, because of the primary key foreign key relationship, that genre ID has to match one of the existing values of ID, which are 1, 2, or 3 from the genre table. So let's say if I put this in the first category. So paste. Oh, I don't know why I did not copy it. I'll try again. Copy and paste. Okay. And that's in the same category. So it is possible for foreign key to repeat itself as long as the foreign key value can be found in the primary key. Primary key cannot be repeated. So once I wrote all 6 inserts, I just ran all of them together.
I don't know if Tokyo Game Show is a stealth game, by the way.
Is it
Yeah, I
not?
just wrote
We've never
Splinter
seen
Cell
a Tokyo
instead.
Game Show.
It's oh, okay. I thought it was. No?
Yeah, I went a little bit rogue in the last 2. I changed up because I wanted to be special. I ended up having Splinter Cell instead of Tokyo Game Show, and I have Minecraft instead of Zombie Apocalypse.
I
Hmm.
chose Subnautica.
That's a good one. Fallout.
I like that you started with Super Smash Bros. Though.
That one.
So that could be a good good one for our next command that I want to teach you guys. The Tokyo Game Show one, that record, which will be update command. So we will update the game name using the update command. Is everybody done with these 6 updates?
I'm on the last one.
Okay. Did you make sure that you use games, right? Desmond? For you
No.
to,
I was just putting game, but I'll put games here. I got you.
yeah, you have to. Besides Desmond, anybody else also working on these 6 inserts? Alvin, you're done, right?
I already put my check, man.
No, no,
Oh
no.
yeah, it's long done. Sorry. Probably
Okay,
should have did
cool.
the green one.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Now let's run the update command on 1005. So update game. So update followed by the name of the table. Set. That means I would like to change a field's value. Which field am I changing? Game underscore name. So change game underscore name to a different value. Now, if somebody ran this SQL command, it will update the game name for all the games. We only want it to update for one of the games. That's why we will use the filter where the field, what is the field? Game ID field equals the value 1005, so that only one record gets updated. So I select this and I run it, and it tells me that one row was successfully updated. To make sure, I will type select star from game, and this will show me all the data. And I can see that 1005 is now Manbiki Shonen, which was in English shoplifting boy. Also, if you guys remember, you can save all of these in a file, all of the commands that you have been typing. So you can click the file menu and hit save as PC file. And then you can choose a location where you want to save this. So I think we also saved last week, and these are all SQL files. These are all text files. You can export them out of the V2 cloud, email yourself or whatever, or leave it there to be uploaded to run again. Okay. If I want to delete a record, for example, I want to delete the record with game ID 1006. So delete from game. Now, if somebody stops here and runs it, it will delete everything. We don't want to delete everything. We only want to delete where game ID is 1006. So now, to make sure that that particular record was deleted, I can reselect line number 19 and run it. I don't have to retype it. And it will show me that 1006 is gone. So that's the beauty, that you have everything there. If you end up removing something, you can always add it back by running a command. Similarly, if I want to add the 1006 record again, I can select that line number 15, and I can rerun it. It will say one record inserted. And then I will rerun the select command. And here I have the 6th record back. So you all can do the same. First, run line 21. Then run line 19 to make sure that the record was deleted. Then you can run line 15 to add the record back, and run line 19 to confirm. So 21, 19, 15, 19. By the way, 2 hyphens mean comment. So that's how you can write commentary. Okay, everybody got this? Deleted, selected to make sure, and inserted it back, and made sure that it's been inserted back. Yes, Chris. Oh, you good? Okay, okay. Now, let's type a select command to select fields in a different order. So I need the game name and followed by the game ID from game. So you can change the order in which you want your fields to be displayed. They don't have to be the same order in which they were created. Okay, now let's say select all the games that have the word metal in their names. Okay, so I need to select all the games that have the word metal in their names. So I will copy this and paste it. And since I have put a limitation, therefore I would have to have a filter of a where clause. So select the name, select the ID from game. However, only select those records where the game name includes is written with a special operator called like. It has the word metal. So that's how you put metal into asterisks. That means the word metal can be anywhere in the name of the game. Okay, so now I didn't get anything back. Why? Because for me, the metal is in the beginning, not in the middle. So if I drop the first asterisk and I say, give me all those games where the name starts with the word metal, oh, what's going on? Game underscore name, like. Game underscore name. Yeah, that's escape sequence. Oh, no. That's Microsoft escape sequence. My bad. I should use DB2 escape sequence. That's a percentage sign. Because I was teaching Microsoft database yesterday. I'm in the Microsoft mode. Here we go. Like, why is it not working? Okay. So anything that starts with metal, it will pick that up. Now, slightly different context. That has the word gear in it. Okay. So if I redo the same query and type gear instead of metal, no output will come. Why? Because gear is in the middle of the word, not in the beginning. So I got to use percentage sign on both sides. And only then the gear will show up. Now that comes tricky, right? Why does that become tricky? Because game name is in a different table and game genre is in a different table, right? However, there is something in common between the two. And what is that? The genre ID. So we will now be doing what we call in SQL joins. We'll be joining the two tables on the common field. So I will select.
Sorry, did you run line 28?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Line 29. And you can see the output. That's the output. So did it not work for you?
No, I just didn't run it yet. Let me see. Sorry. Yep. Okay.
Okay. So now I want to select the game underscore name, comma, and genre name. From. Now I have two tables, right? I have a game table and a genre table. So I will be selecting some fields from game table and some fields from genre table. So I need to list all my tables where the fields are coming from. Okay. If I do something like this and run it, that creates a mess. Because if you do something like this, it creates a Cartesian product for every record in game. It tries to match it with all the records in genre, and it gives you something totally wrong. And you want with every game to have its own genre, not everybody else's genres. So now you need to have a filter where, what is the common field between the two tables?
Genre ID.
ID, right?
ID.
Just the ID field, correct? So if I say where ID equals ID means wherever the ID matches, now the system gets confused. Exactly the same way that in the logical file, if you're using a common field, you use JREF and then you put a number. Here, you got to use a table name. I want you to match the ID from game with the ID from genre. So now it knows, oh, okay, so that's where I need to pick the IDs from. So it needs context. If the field name is same, otherwise it'll give you an ambiguous field name error. So now you can get for every game name its genre. And they're coming from two separate tables.
I'm getting a syntax error from game ID because I wrote down the genre where game ID equals genre ID semicolon and it's giving me an error.
Oh, it's game dot ID.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay. What is the error that is it giving you?
Token game was not valid. Valid tokens from into.
Did you put a comma between game and genre after from?
Yeah, game, comma, genre, where.
Okay, then let me have a look at your
Sure.
SQL.
Getting that same one too. Exactly what he has there.
Oh, because you put an extra comma in the select part. You don't put a comma after genre name before from. Before from.
Oh, before from?
Yeah, yeah. No comma after the last field.
Okay.
Okay, now run that line. That's it.
So why did that happen exactly?
Because you don't put comma after the last field. When you're listing the fields that you want to display, you only put comma between fields and no comma after the last field.
Okay, gotcha.
Mine is different from that, so just can you look at mine too?
Yep.
So I know.
Because your table name is games, not game.
I have game train. Oh, here?
It's games.id. Yes.
That's why you need to follow my steps. Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Everybody got it? Okay. Now, some people or some SQL developers will even go one step further and would also include the table name with each field name. So game.game name, genre.genre, so that you know where the field is coming from. So when you make that modification and run it, the output is exactly the same. It's just for the code readability purpose. Because you don't write this small of SQL statements in real life. You probably are including 15 columns coming from 4 different tables. And some developers, or rather most developers, would rather take the second approach I'm showing you, that repeating the full name of the table with every field can become very tedious. So in order to avoid this tediousness, they will give each table an abbreviated name. For example, if I call this one GA and I call this one GE, those are the abbreviations. So game is now known by GA name and genre will now be known by GE. So wherever the game is, I will short that to GA. Wherever genre, I will gonna short it to GE. But they will only come in full form once, which is after the from. Otherwise, all occurrences will be shortened. And this is called table aliasing. And when I run it after table aliasing, you'll still get the same output. It's just like 3 different approaches to writing the same SQL statement. This is the preferred one. Using table alias. Okay, everybody got this one? Okay, let's take a break here till 7:30. And when we come back at 7:30, we'll look at views. And after looking at views, we will then look at screen design aid. So I'll see you guys at 7:30. Resume the recording. Let me share the screen. Let me clear the previous notifications. And next, we will talk about the concept of views. So if you want to have some understanding of what is a view is like a logical file. What is a logical file? A logical file doesn't hold any data. It always borrows data from one or more physical files. Exactly the same way, the view does not hold any data. It always borrows the data from one or more tables. Why would you want to give somebody a view? For the same reason that you want to give somebody a logical file, that you don't want them to have full access to your data set. So you create a window into your data set, and then you give them access to that. It could be some of the fields. It could be some of the records. It could be some of the fields and some of the records. It could be a combination of any of those. For example, if somebody wants to only get games in one particular genre, let's say stealth, and that's the only thing that they're interested in, then instead of they having to write the query over and over again that select this, where genre equals this, you can just create a view on their requirement and just give them that view, and they can just query that view and say, select star from this view, and they can get all the data. They'll save them a lot of time. So views are a window into limited data. That's all the window, that's all the views are. How do you create a view? The views are created with a create view command. Just like you can create table with a create table command, views are created with create view command. So you type create view, followed by the name of the view. For example, if I want to create a game view 1, okay. After that, we use the keyword as. And creating views is a lot simpler than creating a logical files. If you remember, what do you do in logical files? You list all the fields, right? Here, after the as, you write a select command. For example, let's go back up here somewhere and let's select this. Oh, sorry, not this one, the metal one. Okay, right click, copy, and paste it. So what have we creating? What are we creating? We are creating a view called game v1. And this view, every time you query it, will only show you those games which start with the word metal. Let's do that. Let's run it. Okay, so the view got created. Now, if you type select star from game v1, it will automatically give you all the metal games. So create view name as followed by a regular select. So whatever fields are listed in the select, those are the fields that will become the fields in the view. And whatever where clause the select has, that becomes the filter for the view. So it's pretty much like writing those selection and omission criteria in logical files. That's what the where clause does. Now, to check to see if view can actually give me new data or is it locked in the previous data, I can scroll up and add one more record. So let's copy line 1006 and paste it on the next line and make it a 1007. And let's create another game called Metal Gear 2 Snake. Same genre too. And run it to insert that one more record. So insert the 7th record. After you're done inserting the 7th record in the game table, scroll to the bottom and rerun the view. You will have one additional record now that will pop up in the view because of one more record starting with the word metal, showing you that views always look at the current data set of the table, exactly like logical files. So if I scroll down, I select and run it, it now pulls one extra record, which is 1007. Create a view to show games in genre 1 or 3. Okay, so I'm creating a view to show only those games that are either in genre 1 or are in genre 3. So create view game v2 as select game underscore name, comma, ID, which is the genre, from game where ID is equals to 1 or ID is equals to 3. So if ID is 1 or ID is 3, select that game and put it in the view. If ID is a value other than these two, then don't select that game and put it in this view. So once the view is created, you can run to make sure that it only lists those games which are either in genre 1 or genre 3. Okay, everybody got this? Where is Desmond? I don't see Desmond. Did he say anything in the chat? No. Oh, his net went down. Right before the break ended. Okay. Okay. Now, let me show you an alternate approach to doing line number 42. So copy line number 42 and paste it. We'll call this one game V3. And we will use a slightly different operator. Because notice right now, my where clause is that I have to repeat the field name twice, where ID is equals to 1 or ID is equals to 3. Now that's old SQL. The new SQL says use an in operator and simply list all the fields that all the values that you want to OR. So it means where ID is either 1 or ID is 3, select the data. The output of this one and the previous one will be the same. After you create the view, you can run the view. And you will get the exact same output as before. So in operator works that way. Now, I want to create a view to show games that are not in genre 1 or 3. Not in genre 1 or 3. So it's a very simple fix. You copy and paste line number 45. You change the view name, and you simply add the word not before the word in. So it works like omission. So you run it. That creates it for you. And then you select it. See, it selected all those records which are not in 1 or 3. So of course, there is a lot more to learn about views, and this is just the beginning course in databases. This course doesn't have its emphasis on databases. There is a class called DB2 UDB programming that you will learn in 4th semester. That class is entirely, the whole class is dedicated to databases, where you will be learning about SQL and SQLPL in depth. So the bottom line is views have several advantages. And one of the advantages of views is simplicity, because instead of having to keep typing the select command over and over again, not in one session, but even if you need it in the future, you can just rather create a view and query that view in a much simpler select command, which will run that more complicated select command behind the scene. You wouldn't have to code it every time you need it. So one is simplicity. Another advantage is security, because you're hiding unrelated data from the user. What the user doesn't need to see, you're not showing. The other benefit is consistency, because since views borrow the data that you are maintaining consistently behind the scene in tables, so everybody get a consistent view. Otherwise, if you create 2 tables, one you keep the master, the other one you give out with limited fields, you have to constantly worry about updating the one that you are giving out every time something changes in the master. But with views, you don't have to worry about that, because it never holds or captures the data. Okay. Let me save this. Give me a green check when everybody is done with this, because then we will move away to our next topic, or move to our next topic.
What should I save this under?
I just saved it as a regular file on my desktop. So, I mean, like, you don't have to save it. The only reason I asked you guys to save it so that you have copy of these things that you have done.
I created a line 49 without where ID not in. I created it in. How do I delete that and get it and redo it again? What was the
Same deal. Drop view instead of table. You say drop view, and the view name.
Okay. That's right. Thank you.
Mhm. So I hope between today's class and 2 weeks ago's class, some of your concepts that might have not been cleared up would have cleared up about tables, inserts, updates, deletes, selects. Did that work, Chris?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay. Ethan, you got it too, or are you still coding?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we will close. Chris, you're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll close this and we will now open RDI. Rational Developer for I. In RDI, when you go to the database development perspective, under debtstar.gtc.edu, under your schema, under views, you can see all the views that we created. Game V1, V2, V3, V4, all of them are there. You can also run it from here by right-clicking and going to data, return all rows. And here you have the same outputs here in this environment. So tools are just environments. That's all they are, okay? And let me show you again, if you want to insert data in a table, like for the final exam, you have to insert data in RDI. So for example, if we go to tables and we look for the game table, the one that we created. Sorry, genre table. Let's go to genre table. Okay. And right-click data, but choose edit instead of return all rows. So I click on line number where it says new row, put 4, and under genre name, let's put the rhythm game. Hit enter and Control S. So it saves it and it runs it for you, and it tells you that the following data was added. So we added one more genre, number 4.
So are you under tables or views? Sorry.
Under tables, because genre is a table, not a view.
Yeah.
So you got to put the data and hit enter and hit the save button for it to run it. Then you can right click on genre and go to data and return all rows. And you will now see that you have a 4th record as well. one more record was added. Okay. Do all of you remember how to open green screen from within RDI? If not, I will show it to you again. First of all, you have to be in the Remote Systems Explorer. Okay. In the Remote Systems Explorer on the left-hand side, in the RSE pane, you scroll all the way to the top. That's where you will find deathstar.gtc.edu right at the top. You right-click on it and you click on Host Connection Emulator. The green screen pops up, login. Okay. Please give me a green check that when you are in the green screen. Okay. The utility that I want to use is called Screen Design Aid, SDA, Screen Design Aid. So under this week's unit, unit number 11, I've given you an entire PDF document. It's 182 pages long. It's just a resource for you. We will not be going over 182 pages because Chris is looking at me. Are you for real? No, we're not going over this. Because Screen Design Aid is a utility which is far in depth. It can create different kinds of screens for you in the green screen. So we will be creating one of those many kinds of screens, and our focus for today would be to create a menu. Okay, so it can create subfiles, it can create complex displays. We're only concentrating on creating a menu. So chapter number 7 is where it shows you how you go about creating a menu. But anyway, that resource is there for you. If you want to download and keep it somewhere, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so having said that, in order for me to start the utility, we type the str command followed by the name of the utility, which is SDA. str SDA. Type this command and hit enter. str SDA. We are interested in designing menus, so we will choose option number 2. Now it is asking me, what is the source physical file where you want to create this menu under? Because when you create a menu, The menu also have a source code, like a logical file or a physical file. So I will be creating mine under fall 22 initials 1. Remember, we all have the source physical file that we have been working under, fall 22 initials 1. Okay, now that reminds me to talk about one more topic from the Blackboard, which is the final exam. Okay, in the final exam, I have asked you to create a physical file member. Okay, I'm not asking you to create a source physical file. So you can use your existing source physical file to do the final exam. Because I've noticed even in the homework assignments till last week, people have been, for example, let me show you what people have been doing is, let's say, I asked you to create a physical file called books, right? So they created a source physical file called books instead of creating a member books inside source physical file. So source physical file is a container under which you create members. So I'm only asking you to create members, not source physical files. These are not source physical files. These are members in which you put data. So you need to have that distinction clear in your mind when I'm asking these things. So I'm asking, that's why I'm using the word member. I didn't say create a source physical file. So those words are important. Create a member name, store info. I'm even giving you the record format name just to avoid that confusion. Then I'm asking you to create another member, and I'm giving you the record format name for the member. Then I'm asking you to create a logical file. I'm giving you the name of the logical file, right? Logical files also need a record format, right? I'm not giving you one here. So I'm letting you come up with your own name for the record format, for the logical file name. And then you list these fields from the two source physical files and create a join. And these are the deliverables. Okay. So now the source physical file is fall 22 initials 1. The name of the library where the source physical file is located. What would you like to call your menu? MFA 22 1. First menu of fall 2022. Okay, so that's why that number 1 is there. Then you simply press enter. Once you press enter, it will ask you, work with menu image and command, say yes, enter. And it will take you here. Okay. Menus are created in 2 steps. There is behind the scenes stuff, and then there is the front stuff. Front stuff is all text, which descriptively write what you want your menus to display on the screen. Like, for example, the menus that we have been going to, you can see the descriptive text. Then you choose an option from the bottom, then the menu automatically runs the code behind the scene for that item. So the menu I want to create is a menu for utilities. So I want to have the 3 utilities display from this menu, which are PDM, SDA, SQL. Okay, so I want different utilities. Okay, so first of all, I will build my behind the scene code. So I will press the function key F10, which is work with commands. Function key F10. This will take me to this screen. Okay. So I want to type my commands, strpdm, don't hit enter. Just use arrow keys. Use arrow keys to go down to option 2, str, SQL, arrow keys, str, SDA.
Can I use tab instead? Because I've been using tab. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine. Tab is okay. strpdm, strsql, strsda. When you type the third item, then you press enter. So those are the 3 items behind the scene that I want to run. strpdm, strsql, strsda. If you don't press enter, it doesn't record the changes. Now we need to go to the front menu and put some text, right? So let's push F3 here. And that will be, I'm back here, okay? Now here, I'll be typing my text in single quotes. Single quotes, my first item is PDM. Again, don't press enter. Use the arrow keys. Second line, SQL. Third line, SDA. All in single quotes. Once I am on the third line, that's where I press enter and finalize all 3 names. After that, I press F3 to exit. Enter and say, yes, I want to save changes. Yes. So now it tells me that your menu is created. Let me F3 all the way to the main menu. What command do you use to run a menu?
str.
No. There is a command that you can use to call any menu.
It's go.
It's go. Go space. The name of the menu that we have is MFA 22.1, right? And then you press enter. Go space MFA 22.1. And here's your menu. So if I want to choose option number 1 and hit enter, it takes me to the PDM. I can F3 to go back to the previous screen, which is my menu again. And I can now choose option 2. It takes me to SQL. I can F3 and choose option number 3. It takes me to SDA. So I have created a small menu of my own to jump from to jump between the utilities I use commonly, as opposed to having to type those commands all the time. So somebody can create a menu for their application where each step is the text, and behind the scene, each text is calling different programs to do the job for them. So that's how you can create menu objects. Now, on the left-hand side, where you see your objects, open libraries, open your schema, your library, and scroll down to your source physical file. Which is FA22 initials 1. Open that one. And in that source physical file, if you keep scrolling down, do you see something called MFA 22.1? right? The MFA 22.1, which is MNU DDS, that is the DDS of your menu. Double click on that one. It will take a few seconds to load because it is opening a different perspective for you. But that will show you the code. See, it will, if it asks you, do you want to open the design perspective? Say yes. Okay. So this is basically the graphical view that was created for you. And you know what? The source code was written for you. You can click the source tab at the bottom. See, there are 3 tabs: design, source, preview. Click the source tab, and all of the source code was written for you. For the front of the menu, not the back end, just the front of the menu. Let me close this tab.
When I
And
hit the arrow to open work with objects, it asks me to create a new one.
you left click on work with objects. No, under objects, we open library list.
Um,
You're talking about the RSE, right? The Remote System Explorer, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, so you open objects, then you open library list, not work with objects.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah.
Whoops. Thanks.
Then if you double click on the item underneath it, this is where your behind the scene commands are stored. So if you double click on that one, see, these are the commands that were written for you. strpdm, str_sql, str, this is what you wrote behind the scene. So it creates 2 separate members, one for front and one for behind. And they're of 2 different types. One is the MNU DDS type member, and the other one is MNU CMD type member. Okay, everybody got this? Okay.
Sorry, where are you now?
No, I'm not. I was just checking something else. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So guys, that's all for today. And that's all for this course. And thank you for taking it.
Thank you for offering it.
Thank you very much. I didn't know this was the last.
Yeah, I thought we
Yeah.
had at least one more.
Yeah, it's you have this whole week to work on your finals.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's why I made everything available to you guys. So you will have that's what I was telling you guys earlier on. That these 900 some points, you have the entire week to work on those. So under unit number 11, you have this assignment 11 to complete, and you have a database quiz to complete. And then you have your final exam to complete, which is under the finals, which has 3 parts. The multiple choice part, the hands-on part for the logical files, and the hands-on part for the databases. And all of these items, with any of the past due items, if you still need to turn in any of the past due items, everything must be turned in by the midnight of the 9th. So yeah, today is our last in-class meeting. So after today, I'll see you guys next semester, which starts on the 17th of January. Depending on if you are taking one of my classes. And as I was telling everybody that I'm still in the process of working with the scheduling team to offer Java and internet programming OSync evening section. That's still in work. I'm meeting with the director next week, Monday, and we will let you guys know next week. Hopefully we will be able to offer an evening OSync section. So right now there is a big, what you may call it, wait list. So let me see if I can look into the wait list here.
I'm on it.
Let's see. It should be one.
If you can do night classes.
Oops, what happened?
Not, I'll see you in the summer.
Spring 152. Here we go. Okay. So right now, Java programming has 14 people in the wait list. So as many people, I mean, like almost to offer a full course, right? Full section. So we have 18 registered, 14 on the wait list. That's what because the registrar's office, I should say scheduling office, want to open another daytime section only. And we are like, that doesn't work. So that's why, we want to pursue that. And then we have 13 people on the wait list for internet programming. So we want to offer another section for that. And I have also noticed that even for the control language, where is that? Control language, we have a wait list for the evening section. So we will also try to open another evening section for control language. So I've asked them because I was available on one of the nights, I've asked them that I'll be available to teach because my section is daytime, another evening section if they decide to offer that in the evenings. So yeah, so we'll inform you guys of all the decisions. Okay.
Yeah, much appreciated.
No, it's
good,
guys. So